Hello again, everyone. This is Gilmer, and this is War in the East, version 1.08.07. This is the full campaign, and this is what the forces between the Soviet Union and Germany looked like on June 21st, 1941, and then at 1 a.m. on June 22nd, Hitler sent his forces across the border against the Soviets in an operation called Operation Barbarossa. And fighting commenced at 1 a.m. And I am going to play the Soviet Union. It doesn't seem like very many people play the Soviet Union, and I think it's because probably playing the Germans is a little bit more challenging to people. Um, these kinds of games, the AI doesn't play as well, I would say, on the offense as it does on the defense. But even so, in every game that I've ever played where I'm playing the Germans against the Soviets in World War II, I always play the Soviets. I just like the Soviet side better. I don't know. It's to me, it's more fun. I know a lot of people think the German side is more fun, and I have added some mods to this game that you might be familiar with. And the first one that I'm going to mention is Jason's mod, and I want to give him full credit. He is a person, or his name on the Matrix forums is Jison, Jison, and I think he does a lot of these map mods, and he's just an excellent person at doing this. And then some more mods that I have added, and you know what? I'm going to have to tell you in another episode who the names of those people are, but I have a flag mod, and I also have a unit background mod just to make this game look a little bit nicer, and I'll show you a little bit of it. And I definitely will give credit where credit is due. I can't really do it right now because if I tab over to the website, then the video will stop recording, or it'll give me some weird flash screen saying that the video has been interrupted or something like that. But as you can see, this is a lot different than the vanilla box art for the units. And as you can see, they put in, and I'm going to preface this right now, I don't know if the German people can watch a video with the swastika in it. And you know what? If they can't, they can tell me in the comments, and I will take it out, because I don't want people from Germany not to be able to watch this if they want to watch it. I don't know anything about how Germans view World War II, and so they might not like, having to look at a swastika. I don't know. So just let me know in the comments, and then if it's against the law for them to even look at a swastika on a YouTube video, I'll take it out. But I think the artwork is very nice, and the other artwork that I am going to use, or the other mod, is, and if I can find a good unit to show it, this is it. This will be a good one. If I right click on it and then I look at the Stug art, it has a little swastika flag on it, and that is really the only mods that I have for this game. I'm going to play on normal difficulty. I'm not going to play on easy. Because I think that if I play it on easy and I completely destroy the Germans, it's not going to be fun for me, and it's not going to be fun to watch. And I don't want that, because I'm sure experienced players, if they play on easy, they can destroy this game, within 6 months of game time. So I don't want to do that. But I also want to make sure that I play fast, because I know that these turns take a long time if you spend too much time on too many different things. So I'm going to try to play as fast as possible. The first few turns are going to be mostly the Germans attacking me and me trying to defend and trying to save as many units as I can. And what I am going to do, if I really can't show it because it's going to be tough. There are probably some river lines through this section right here, or maybe further on. And I'm going to try to build a defensive front and stop them in the tracks and wait for the winter. The winter is supposed to be a better time for the Russians, and when the winter happens is when I'll start probably counterattacking. And I'm not going to get too much into much of the game mechanics. I think that most of the people that are watching probably know the game mechanics. If you don't, ask in the comments and I'll try to go over them. If I don't know, I'll find out from somebody who does know. You've got so many different icons to use. You got the regular movement, you got rail movement, you got naval movement, amphibious transport, air recon, bomb unit, bomb airfield, bomb buildings or cities, and air transport, and then air transfer mode, and then you have certain things that you can toggle on and off. Enemy toggle, which is kind of nice. Enemy units, toggle fort levels. This map mod is just very nice. The fort icons, as you can see on the German side, the fort icons are mostly 1s, and the fort icons on the Russian side are mostly 2s. The higher the number, the better the fort. This is the icon that you use for rail damage info. There's no rail damage as of yet because the war hasn't actually started. Toggle unit modes on and off. Not really sure. So there's just a lot of different information. Losses. Let's see. This is really the order of battle and tells you the total amount of troops that all of the main players have at their disposal. I think the first number is their total troops, and the second number is their total effective units or effective troops. This is the losses, 0 losses because the battle or the war has not started with the Soviet Union. Obviously, the World War II has been going on. This is a victory point screen. I think there's a mod that actually puts in some sudden victory chances or points or scenarios where you can get to a certain sudden death victory, and I don't have that mod, so you'll probably not see that. It will go for 225 turns. The first few turns are probably going to be very slow, and then as we get further into it and the losses mount on each side, the turns will probably go a little quicker, hopefully. This is the production capacities. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to open that screen up too much. Weather shows you the weather zones. It's June, and the weather is clear in every single zone. Perfect for an attack on the motherland, because I will be calling it the motherland because I will be playing the Soviets. This is the air doctrine. It can toggle into that and play around with it. Reinforcements and withdrawals because of the the war is tried to model fairly closely in some of this, and as you can see, a lot of these units will be withdrawn from the Eastern Front and put in the West or put in Italy or wherever they go. For the Soviet Union, I don't think there's very many withdrawals because the war is going to be won or lost on the German front. There is no other front really. So I don't think the Soviet Unions have any withdrawal schedule that will show that. They will be fighting a life or death battle with the Germans. It's not going to be against anybody else. I mean, you do have the Romanians down here. I will say that the Romanians and the Italians and some of the others I think are down here. You're going to have to deal with them, but are the Bulgarians or whoever, I don't know. Some of these troops are not German troops, and they're not as good as the German troops. So, that might be a case when I start counterattacking. I don't want to say I don't want to say this too much because I know it's not really very relevant, but I did play War in Russia for many, many years, and I always loved attacking in the south because it seems like I can't having a little hard time scrolling, but it seems like you can come down through here and then break through here possibly, although the mountains look a lot worse down here, and possibly break through here. There's this big marsh area right here. I don't expect the Germans to try to push through here very very much, and I will have at least a minimal defenses at least, protecting any units coming through these road areas. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. As I mentioned, played War in Russia many 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 times, but War in Russia is not this game, and this game is going to take a lot longer than War in Russia, I can tell you that. But I'm thinking about this river right here as being kind of my line of defense, if you can see it. Kind of, the Smolensk and to Orsha, Mogilev. That's going to be the first line of defense. If that doesn't work, I want to fall back to Bryansk, Vyazma, Rzhev, possibly Velikiye Luki. Some of these names are very hard to pronounce. Vitebsk, Smolensk, and Vitebsk seem to be fairly easy to pronounce. Gomel, Chernigov, but Kursk. So I think if the second line of defense could be from the Rzhev, Vyazma, Bryansk / Kursk, Belgorod, and Kharkov line. I'm just going to have to play it by ear, really, to be honest. I don't know how hard they'll come through down here. I haven't really looked to see if there's any mechanism to move factories to the to Gorky or places like that. That was one of the things in the actual war and in War in Russia, is you were able to get your factories out of the line of fire and over to the east of Moscow. And where is Moscow? Moscow's here, so you'd want to get your factories over in this area near Gorky and places like that. So I'm going to try to do that. But anyway, I have this game right now on human against human, so we wouldn't have to go through the first turn, but yeah, you kind of can see the status of the forces right before they go to war. And with that, I am going to call this video to a close. I hope you'll enjoy it, because this is the first time I've used these mods and they're looking very nice. And I have to thank Bull of Scapa Flow for giving me the. I don't think he was the one that did the artwork, but if he did, then that's a double thanks to him. He's the one that gave me the artwork for the actual units, and there was a link to it on the Matrix forums, but that link is dead. So he uploaded it for me to download tonight so that I could use that as well. So I'm very appreciative for that as well. And, you know, I'm going to give you a big shout out, XTRG. XTRG is playing the same game as I am, with basically the same mods, but he's playing the German side. And if you go to his YouTube channel, XTRG, you will see the German side. So he's kind of given me a the impetus to want to play, but from the Russian side. So there we have the Nazi swastika flag. Let's see, are there any true Panzer units? SS Panzer. That's SS motorized. I'd like to see what kind of tank formations they have. I think the Panzer IV-E is the mainstay, or their big tank at this point of the war, but I'm not positive about that. This is a Panzer division, but it's not an SS Panzer division. But let's see. Yeah, okay, the Panzer IV-E is their main tank, I guess, at this time. It has a 75 millimeter gun on it, which is pretty good for this period. The Russians, on the other hand, have a lot of obsolete tanks. They have a lot of T-26s and T-46s, and their main armament, I think, is something like a 57 millimeter gun. And so they're going to be very outclassed tank-wise at the start of the war. But believe you me, they come on with the tanks pretty quickly. They start putting into service the T-34s and the some of the Joseph Stalin tanks, and some of those bigger tanks, the KV type tanks. They start putting those into service. So they have some good tanks out there. They'll have some good medium tanks and good heavy tanks to counter the German tanks. So I hope to see you on board with this, and we'll get this started this weekend. I'm not going to start tonight. I just wanted to do kind of a preview tonight, and we'll get this started this weekend and see what we can do. Hopefully we'll get several turns in before the weekend's over, and hopefully sometime next week we will get to November of 41, when I can actually probably start counterattacking a little bit and showing you what the Soviet Union can do on the offensive. So I will see you then. Thanks a lot for watching.